Now, you mentioned when we started that this is what you designed based on your own sensibilities as a driver, as a supposed couch potato. I know you better than that. But my question is, I think that, I'm a marketing guy at heart myself. And that means fundamentally, I think, that we don't design things because that's all the money we have or because that's what I would like to drive, but it's based on sensibilities of target market segments at large and the work style and the play style of various people. Can you talk to me, try to convince the folks at home why you think the world's ready for something like this?
The world doesn't realize it's ready for something like this. That's why you have designers thinking ahead into the future. When marketing people go out there and take marketing surveys, they say, how does this relate to your lifestyle as it is? Well, in the 19th century, they would go out and make a market survey. Well, how would you like an automobile? And they say, we don't need an automobile. We've got carriages and horses, and we've got people to look after them. The thinker has to think ahead and think, what can I do that people will go for? Right now, people are going for electrically powered bicycles.
Yes, it's true.
What they haven't figured out in their mind until you show them this, when you show them this, they say, ah, yes, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. But until you show them it, they don't realize they want it because they haven't, they're not in the future business.
Yes. Well, believe it or not, that's exactly what attracted me to this initially. We met at the Alt Car Expo. I was
Santa Monica, yeah.
Yes, exactly. I was moderating a panel discussion, and I think it was right before I took the stage that you and the president of EMCycle came up and showed me this, and I recognized immediately that it really did have something in terms of customer sensibilities. But I think that this is important. I think that their future. There's the Aptera. There's incredibly futuristic things. And every time I think of something like that, I wonder, well, will the dogs eat the dog food? It is futuristic, but futuristic things on their own, especially the wrong thing at the wrong time, just simply misses the mark. And I'm just wondering, I can certainly see an eco-sensitive public. I can see a person who doesn't want a motorcycle because of the danger issues. I can see the person who does want the electric bicycle, who doesn't want to get wet and so forth. I can see this as the best of all possible worlds in that thing. But what type of a person, what type of a self-concept, I guess is what I'm asking, of a person is going to want something like this?
Well, someone who's eco-sensitive, definitely, because they're realizing that to take the SUV down for half a dozen bags of groceries is ridiculous. I'm hoping that the sort of person that does this also is, shall we say, somewhat of an exhibitionist, just like the people who adopted the Prius right at the beginning.
Yes.
They wanted people to know that they were eco-sensitive.
Well, it's good that you recognize that, because that's certainly a feature of this thing. This is going to be pretty hard to miss.
That's the idea, that it can be seen. I had the option of doing a recumbent type of bicycle, or tricycle, and the trouble with those, they're much more efficient, but no one can see them.
Oh, I see. You're talking about safety. I think we have a slide on that, do we not?
Yes, we have a slide which actually is a double picture, and the one picture shows the EMCycle in a traffic, sitting in traffic, and the one on the left-hand side shows a guy on a yellow bicycle in the same position, and you really can't see the guy on the yellow bicycle. You have to look definitely for him. But the EMCycle stands out. Okay, it's bright yellow, but then the bicycle's yellow as well.
Yes.
Now, there's no guarantees, because let's face it, people hit these trams as well.
Yes.
But exactly. At least you will be relatively safe, because the EMCycle has safety built into it. It has crushable zones, and from what I know of how cars are designed with safety crush zones, I have enough space to be able to be safe. And you've got a seat belt and possibly a airbag as well.
That's great. Well, let me ask you this. You mentioned I'd like to stay on this eco-sensitive part of this thing just a little bit more, if I may. And it's true that 100 years from now, we won't be driving Hummers. It's unclear what's going to happen in the 100 years that lay in front of us, exactly what the curve of what types of products are going to come into vogue and out of vogue. But I can see this as being an important part of the mix for a long period of time. Are there parts of the world in which you expect to do better with this than others?
The parts of the world that I think we will do best in are the crowded parts of the world.
Okay.
Now, you look around the world and let's face it, most of it is crowded. So there isn't, okay, in the Midwest, where you maybe commute 100 miles, maybe not. Mm-hmm. But in places like New York, even Los Angeles, people travel 15 miles to work. Mm-hmm. They're probably prepared to sit on the freeway for 45 minutes. So why shouldn't they pedal a cycle? They get a little bit of exercise. They're in their private space, which is what people like.
Yes, especially here.
Especially here, yes. And they're also ecologically sensitive, so that they say, look, I'm in advance of the curve, I know what I'm doing, I'm an intelligent human being. Mm-hmm. And what more could you want?
Right, exactly right.